Check it out.
Rappers in my backyard. Rappers in my backyard. Rappers in my backyard. Ooh.
What's up, family? Welcome to another exciting episode of Rappers in My Backyard, the podcast that stays lit. We rap about relationships, music, and entertainment. I hope that you guys had a great week and had a chance to get out there and get your voices heard through everything that we're going through right now. So thanks so much for tuning in today. Our topic today is going to be our relationship with gangster rap and hip hop. So you know we about to get it lit in here today. And on the grill, we will be throwing Black Lives Matters as it refers to the true gangsters out there that is preventing us from getting our message out into the world. And you guys know that I love opening up every episode with a quote that allows us to be able to eat and manifest from the knowledge that we'll be talking about and sharing with you today. So here's the quote. Gangster rappers, they call them, not nearly as gangsta as the things that inspire them. You know, the gangsta government that we're under. And that comes from Russell Simmons. And that sets us up lovely to have a great conversation with our guest today. So let's talk, express, relate, connect with our guest today. Gangsta Dresta is in the building.
What up? Rappers in my backyard. What's going on, Lisa?
What's up, fam?
Oh, man, same old. Another day. Another one like the other one.
I didn't hear you say another $1 though. We ain't getting no money.
You know that go without saying. We shouldn't have to say that no more. Black Lives Matter now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
so we shouldn't have to be fighting for that. That always should be a part of the natural process. You know?
Right. Well, I want to say one thing. My boy BG Knock was not able to make it today. So we're going to get BG back on the show. But just like any real brother, his brother is here representing. And so we got Gangsta Dresta, and me and him going to take it and roll. And we're going to have a good time doing this.
Definitely.
So what you been up to, Dresta?
Shit, me, myself, can I cuss on the podcast?
Hey, go ahead, you done let it loose.
I need to know if I can be myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can be yourself here.
Me, myself, I just been restructuring things, you know what I mean, within my health and other things, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And just trying to refine my groove and my niche where I fit in, and trying to find new talent and develop new talent and new avenues to create some new money streams, some financial, benefits from my gifts.
Right, and you have many gifts.
Many of them.
Many gifts. Well, you look great, Dresta. They somehow think that, us rappers in the 90s, we supposed to look all chewed up and everything. But
man, a lot of us rappers in the 90s, all of us wasn't on drugs and alcohol. Some of us skipped that part of the process, you know what I mean? We was more focused on trying to be creative and trying to be successful.
Right,
So that kind of preserved us in a lot of ways,
Yeah, thank goodness for the preservation that we got, going on. So let's get right into these questions. I wanted to talk a little bit about the history with you so that our audience will know why you so gangsta. No, but why you are here today, and also the path that you guys laid prior to us having this conversation. So let's kick it off with Real Brothers is the album that you and BG Knockout put together.
Real Brothers, BROTHA.
Yeah,
Brothers, yeah.
Yeah, so I like that. But you guys put that out in 1995. So talk to me about how that came together and the thought process, because that album right now I still play today. Because I need 50-50 love. I need, you know what I'm saying? I need the things that make me a whole person. So talk to us about Real Brothers.
That album derived from basically a big brother who, I spent a lot of time in the juvenile system.
Okay.
I was in California Youth Authority. And, when my mother and my little brother used to come visit, I would have raps written that I can write, and then I'll go and I'll teach him the raps and we recite them. And he was out here, he was in a group already on the street, so he would come home and learn the raps and use them for different things.
Okay.
But I was also in there writing, writing songs for me and him once I was released. So that Real Brothers was actually one of those songs.
Okay.
And that's what formulated that album. Just me foreseeing our future and what I wanted for us, to be in music.
Right. And I just think too, the title of that LP right now is just so significant.
Yeah.
Because in order for us to win, we got to be real brothers.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that you do, you have to be real about it. So, give us one of your favorite songs from Real Brothers. Because, there was so many heaters on there. What was
so
something
many. Real
on
Brothers
there?
is actually it's actually probably my favorite, because Real Brothers is the title track for the album for a reason. And another reason why I chose to name the album Real Brothers, because at the time, after our success with Real Compton City G's and EazyE, a question that we received a lot when we would be out, interviewing on radio, go to different states. A lot of people they always said, because my little brother light skinned, he had the Jerry curl. I was brown skinned with the bald head, with my hair short. So a lot of people didn't associate that we were they didn't believe that we were real brothers. Some people thought that him and EazyE was brothers because they both had Jerry curls.
Yes.
But what a lot of people didn't know is that I also had a Jerry curl. I just cut my Jerry curl the day before we filmed Real Compton City G's to keep Death Row from having the opportunity of using 3 lookalikes with Jerry curls for their response video.
Right.
So I thought I was being intelligent, trying to think forward, about what we were getting ourselves involved in. So the title track Real Brothers is also for people to know that me and my brother are real brothers, that we come from the same mother.
Right.
So that's another part of why the album was titled that.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, dude, like I said, I still listen to the LP. Now, speaking, you touched a little bit on your conversation about DPK, which was Dog Pound Killers, TPG, right?
No.
Dog Pound Killers.
No.
Well, anyway, what was that beef that y'all had between Death Row at the time?
It was just like, it wasn't really for us, we kind of took it a little more serious, being like I said, I just came home from California Youth Authority. My little brother was actually really out here active in these streets, gang banging, So a lot of the elements that I brought to the rap game was actually real elements from really beefing with people, whether you're in the industry or, not in the industry, whether you were incarcerated or on the streets. It was like a real, we took it serious. Like, we took it as we really from a gang.
Right.
So I didn't understand claiming a rap group as a gang. I never understood that part, because that's not my mentality. My mentality was that if I'm from a gang, this is where I'm from, nutty or nothing. You know what I mean? So it was just like we were using those elements, but it was Dr. Dre and Eazy-E's beef. It wasn't really Dog Pound and BG Knockout and Dresta's beef, but it was our introductory into getting to this industry. Just like Dog Pound and Snoop Dogg, they used their introductions to get into this industry.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Dre Day, Snoop Dogg didn't have beef with Eazy, but that was his opportunity. And he seized his moment. So we were just trying to seize our moment.
Right. And seize, you guys did. That song is still, what I mean?
Definitely. And it's one of the greatest, I believe it's one of the greatest videos videos that's never included in the conversation though.
Yeah.
But Dog Pound Killers it's a cold video, and it's a cold song.
Yeah, it was really good. The visuals was really good with that, and it was real creepy sounding, like on the come up.
Yeah.
So speaking of that whole thing, how did you even get involved with working with EazyE? Were you signed on a Ruthless Records?
No, we never were signed with Ruthless Records. What it was is that I already had kind of a reputation in Youth Authority for my raps and writing raps and being a slick rapper. So Jim Bob and Pat, who was some friends with Eazy and also friends of mine who was already working with E, they all were kind of anticipating me coming home from Youth Authority.
Okay.
And when I came from Youth Authority, Eazy had this, he was about to release his record. Dr. Dre 187 Killer album was already being pressed, basically.
Okay.
And I went to the studio one day, and he heard me rap live, and he said, "Man, would you write me a rap? Would you write something, to respond? I got this track, you know what I mean?" Well, I said, "Yeah, you know what I mean? This is my opportunity."
Right.
So I end up, he asked me to not only write him the rap, then he asked me, "Will you rap on it with me?" And I said, "Yes, yeah, it's Compton, you know what I mean?" So I was there to represent the city. So it was, like I said, it was not only my introduction into the rap game, but like I said, I had a history where I went to Roosevelt Junior High School with Eazy's sister. So it was just people that knew me, you know what I mean, already prior to that. I got cousins who grew up with Eazy as well. So it was already just kind of something that was almost destined to happen. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And it felt good.
Yeah, it was a lot of people like at that time. A lot of people in the industry was kind of, they was on Eazy-E's neck at the time. They was really trying to, get rid of Eazy-E, musically as far as being in this industry. He was really taking at the No Vaseline from Ice Cube.
Yeah,
and then to take
that was rough.
Dre Day and Snoop Dogg. It was really, it was rough.
Yeah.
So he was at a point where he needed something. You know what I mean? And by me writing that record, it became the first single off of his EP. They had to stop pressing and include that record onto the EP. So it was just like something that was a savior for Eazy-E. And like a lot of people, I like the Death Row music. You couldn't deny the music; it was good.
Right.
But I also represent a city that I saw. You know what I mean? The godfather of our city was being, pushed to a level where he probably wouldn't have been able to recover from at that moment.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I just saw the opportunity to try to write something that I thought would, and I learned a lot from studying No Vaseline and other records like that, in our history. So I just utilized what I knew.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right. And just compounding on that whole thing with being involved with EazyE and Ruthless, how prominent is the record Fuck the Police right now?
Oh, it's super,
it
super
seems
prominent.
like, man, so tell me because you guys were like around coming up when all of that stuff was coming together and had a
I was actually in
part
Youth Authority.
in it.
I was in Youth Authority during that time. See, and a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of music, a lot of the gangster rap, and it's not even just gangster rap. Hip hop is promoted behind those walls more than it is on these streets.
Yes.
We're the people who were sitting behind them walls calling home, "Mama, look, order this CD, order this tape, order this." It was cassette tape. Then it wasn't even CDs.
Okay.
I need this cassette tape. And then everybody didn't have family members that sent them anything. So it was if I get it, and I know somebody down the hall want to listen, so I gotta send the tape down. And we're the ones who were promoting these music and deciding what was good and what was bad. You know what I mean?
Right.
So at that time, we were going through a lot. Like I was in Youth Authority during the riots in '92. I was in Youth Authority for the NWA, the Fuck the Police, and all that. But I was living it. I didn't have to be here. They were speaking my story. You know what I mean? I had been beat by the police before. I'd been through that before. You know what I mean? So they were just speaking our story. They were talking for us basically because we didn't have a voice to speak for ourselves. We would have forgotten. We were the juvenile delinquents.
Right.
Nobody was thinking about. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the whole time we're behind the walls promoting and saying what, and passing the information of what's good and what's not good.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So so while you were a Youth Authority, BG Knockout was working with Eazy.
No. He was working with a program called Youth at Risk.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
he was a rapper in a group called Youth at Risk where they were doing kind of positive music and stuff like that. But I've always been a writer. I've been writing rap since I was 12 years old. I've been doing that since I was a kid. So it's just natural for my little brother to gravitate to it as well.
Right.
So I like what he would do, but then I would write other things to try to enhance on what he was doing. A lot of people don't know, like BG Knockout flow is a cross between me and a little Daz Effects and other people like that. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, he does have that.
A lot of people don't know this because that derived from Daz Effects had such a big impact. When they came out, that people started changing their flow to the diggity wiggity iggity. You know what I mean? So I would write raps and it would have that in it. But then when I saw that he was mastering that, I come from the era of wanting to be original and wanting to make sure that I have my own style. So I let him have that, and then I changed mine and just started being regular, and I didn't do the iggity wiggity raps no more for myself.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just a way of trying to create our own identity.
Right.
And I thought he mastered that identity of it.
Yeah, I think that was really good too. Now, which song tells your story? Because you're such a provocative writer and great at painting such a perfect picture of your thought process. So if you had to define a song a song of yours that basically defines your life, from being in youth detention to be able to live through all those things mentally, however, being on the yard with the true people that are going through a lot of the things that we're still going through.
I would say life is a puzzle.
Life is a puzzle.
Yeah.
What is one of the lines in Life in the Puzzle?
Wait, you can't ask me that. You can't ask me that right
Life is
there.
like a puzzle. Life is just a puzzle within the game.
Yeah. Life is like a puzzle. It's just like, it's you giving all these different pieces, and you gotta sometimes like in my position, I had to learn a lot on my own.
Okay.
So I didn't have a person there to teach me how to take the puzzle and make it this. And I had to find these pieces, and all the pieces wasn't always there.
Right.
So you had to find the pieces in other places and other people.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I grew up in an environment in the juvenile system where you had to learn how to not only communicate with this person, you had to know how to deal with 80 or 100 people in one confined space.
Right.
To be able to survive and get along.
Right.
You know what I mean? So Life is a Puzzle is one of the songs that I think it kind of explains what my story is.
Right, right. And it explains all of our stories right now with what we're dealing with, because life is a puzzle, and the one piece that we keep missing is the fact that we matter in all of this, that our culture matters. So when we talk about puzzles as it relates to your song and how perfectly it matches your life and what you do, it is so current right now, just like your album, just like Real Brothers is. I know it was in 1995, but dude, everything on there right now, I could play it and be able to close my eyes and know it's right now.
Yeah, I think I was a little before my time as far as writing and things like that. And like Life is a Puzzle, it ain't just like the pieces of the puzzle aren't missing just because they're missing. They've purposely been hidden.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So it's like systematically that we have to do extra to find those pieces to the puzzles where other people and other parts of the culture or other people in their culture were given all the pieces, the proper pieces. We weren't even told there was pieces missing. We were told this the puzzle, but we ain't gonna tell them that the pieces is missing. And then when they find the pieces, it's still we done defected those pieces even more. You know what I mean? So they got to find the other little pieces, broke off the pieces. You know what I mean? So that kind of, like you say, is relevant right now.
Yes, and that just brings to mind, I was listening to a young black girl, and she was basically just spitting or rapping or talking about the true situation. She was looking at things the way we are right now. And it's just sad to hear somebody 19 years old that feel that they've never had a chance and don't have a chance for a better future as it refers to that. But people like you and you being on the show and sharing with us your journey and to let everybody know that life is a true puzzle. Find your pieces and you have to be knowledgeable in getting those pieces. Like, how did you craft your life, put it back together when you were dealt a certain hand?
I think what the youth need to understand is that there's nothing unique about what they're going through.
Yes.
Their stories that they feel is just about them. It's the same story we had to live through. Like you say, to be that age. When we were young, we were told we wouldn't live to be 21.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's the same story. Because we've been dealing with the same oppressive system that's been keeping us all oppressed, and it's been passing down from generation to generation.
Yes.
So it's not, don't ever think that you're the only one going through what you're going through. We've all been through it, and sometimes it's good for you to listen to other people.
Yes.
So, start respect, because it's a lack of respect between the generations right now in a lot of ways. And it's based on, money and the little stuff that they dangling, the little carrot they dangle in front of them that they think is money. It's not even money.
No.
And I had to learn by dealing with people like Russell Simmons and going to people's houses who had money like that. It would be something sitting on it's something right now sitting on a motherfucking coffee table that's worth more money than your favorite rapper ever saw in their life.
Yes.
So I use that as a tool for people to understand the validity of what money is and what money isn't.
Yes.
The things that we out here killing for and that we think is real money, it's not real money.
Not at all. It has no value
At all.
to it. No value to it. And it all starts with us learning and loving who we are and being unapologetically clear about our communication as far as it's concerned.
That's the key. And they have to understand, when you say loving who we are, it's not just about loving your people, because you can't even love your people till you love yourself first.
That's it.
So you have to learn to love yourself. You got to learn to honor yourself. You got to learn to honor your struggles as well as honor the good times. You know what I mean? If you don't honor everything, then you're going to miss something.
Yes.
If you try to just say, okay, I'm going to just like the good parts, you're going to miss something. There's something that you need to learn in the other parts too. So you have to learn all those aspects and honor all those aspects in order to become who you are intended to become.
Yes. Yes. And you said that so perfectly well.
Appreciate it.
So perfectly well. Because again, when we were talking about the month of June, and I knew that I was going to have the opportunity to have you and BG Knockout, who I'm going to have him later on this month. I just was saying to myself, just everything that I was feeling. I said, you know what? We're going to call this Ruthless June, because not in a negative way, but in a way of being positive with it, saying like, it ain't just Ruthless June. You have to be ruthless always in terms of what it is that you're trying to acquire for yourself.
Yeah, and that's based on your perception. What is your perception of ruthless?
Right.
Because everybody's perceptions are different as well. You know what I mean? So it's based on your perception, because you can make everything that we've been told is negative ain't necessarily negative.
No.
We can use it to our advantage if we understand the perception of it. And we apply the perception to our own thinking and our own self-care and self-love for ourselves.
Yes, yes. And that's why, like I said, we always have tags put on us. You're a gangster rapper, you're corny, you're whack, you're this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, none of those titles can depict who we are and what our journey is. And that's why with you, you're not only do gangster rap, but you know what true gangster is, because you are a true gangster in that sense.
I don't mean to cut you. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
The thing I wanted to make a point is that those titles are not just necessarily titles that we've created for ourselves. Those are titles that was given to us.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And just like we are as a people, we've learned to take what's given to us and turn it into something, you know what I mean, that can be beneficial to us.
Yes.
Even though it was meant to do something to kill us off. You know what I mean? So those are just titles. They don't mean nothing.
Nope.
They don't even register on the scale of real life and real money and none of that. None of that stuff mean nothing. You know what I mean? Because the real gangsters is the Bill Gates and other people, and that's why they are where they are, because they are really the real gangsters.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it depends. Like I said, it's about perception and understanding that every title that we use is not necessarily a title that derives from our spirit.
Right, right. So just because you call me a gangster, you don't understand what kind of gangster I am. And then not only that, when they say gangster rap, you guys were just telling the story of the systems that you guys were in and how you seen the world through your eyes. So to me, what's gangster in being real about your situation?
That's it. And it got, like, right now, a lot of people have been taught, like the younger generation think that you have to actually be a shooter to be a gangster rapper.
Right.
And that's not where it started like that. It started from we were like, rappers were considered like the street what you call it, the reporter, the news reporter. It was okay to rap about this baller over here because you was just telling this story, because he wasn't gonna do it. He maybe didn't know how to do it.
Right.
You know, when I started rapping wasn't just something that everyone did. It was something that few did.
Yes.
And a lot of people didn't respect or understood what they did, so they had to deal with a lot of flack from even wanting to become a rapper.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So a lot of us laid the pavement for people in the streets to embrace this culture and to decide, okay, I can do this too now.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it wasn't like that. It wasn't always like that. And the younger generation wasn't here to understand that. So that's why it's a lack of respect between the originals and, you know, the younger dudes, because they don't know that there's a lot of things that people did in these streets as far as writing street raps and carrying on the torch for this culture that made it possible for them to be able to do what they're doing right now.
Right, right. Man, hold that thought. I'm so happy that you and I are together today, Dresta, on this prominent time in our history and in our culture.
Yes, ma'am.
We're getting ready to go to break, you guys. So hang with us. When we get back from break, we're going to finish up on this amazing question that me and Dresta got going and this conversation. And then we're going to take it to the grill, you guys, because we got to throw Black Lives Matter on the grill today and discuss how it's affecting us and how we're going to move forward. So you guys stay with us. Keep it locked, baby, and keep it gangsta. We'll be right back.
Yo, what's cracking? It's your boy Chill, original Compton's Most Wanted, and I'm in the backyard chilling with the homegirl LisaO.
Hey folks, this is Lonzo, the godfather of West Coast hip hop, kicking it live in the backyard with LisaO.
Yo, what's good? It's Busy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony, and I'm thugging it in the backyard with LisaO.
What's going on, world? It's your boy No Sense. I'm here live today with LisaO and rappers in my backyard. Tune in.
Yo, this your boy Infrared, and I'm kicking it with my homegirl, LisaO, and rappers in the backyard, Compton.
This is Silky D, chilling with LisaO, right here in Rappers in My Backyard.
Yo, it's your boy Kid Gnarly. You tuning in with LisaO, and we're on Rappers in My Backyard. Let's get it.
Yo, it's your girl Miss Toy. You know that real in the city. I'm chilling with my girl LisaO in the backyard. You know, where the rappers be.
What's up, family? Thanks for hanging with us. We are back and we are live and we are together and we are social distancing today on this show. It's just so amazing to be back to live. You guys know I was Skyping, I was Zooming, I was doing everything so that we can bring it to you guys as raw and real as we possibly can. So today I get to be with my brother, Gangsta Dresta is in the building, and we're going to go back to what we was talking about prior to break, and that was just that whole perception of things.
As far as yeah, definitely. What we want to talk? What we going to? What's the next point you want to talk about?
Well, I think we did everything we needed to do with the prior conversation, so I'm ready to go on the grill, man. I want to talk about this Black Lives Matters.
That's perfect
so
time.
Let's go to the grill. Let's burn something up. Oh, let's burn it up.
Shout out to my people in Compton right now. I planned on going to the Peace March today, but you know the schedule came for. I had this pre-booked for me to come here and do this with you guys, but I wanted to give a shout out to all my people in the city right now that's coming together and marching for a good cause and a good purpose, man.
Yes, indeed. It's so beautiful. We was just checking out the footage of everybody being out there and being together in unity. And that just goes to show we can be together. We need to be together. And it ain't just about one race. It's about all races. Because if they coming after us, they coming after y'all. So that being said, let's talk about this Black Lives Matter as it refers to Gangsta. Mm-hmm. The true gangsters are the police right now. Mm-hmm. Our government is the true gangsters.
Definitely.
So let's talk about, let's do this thing where it's like you say what a true gangster is, and then I say what the government is doing, which is exactly the same thing.
I guess I can take it. I can go all the way back to like when we were on our Arsenio Hall show with EazyE, right?
Okay.
And the question was posed to EazyE about him and Dr. Dre's rivalry at the time, and it was posed to KRS-One.
Okay.
Who we know is one of the most articulate rappers ever in this industry, right? Mm-hmm. And KRS-One take was on it was the person who says they're gangster is one thing, but the person who actually owns the person that says they're gangster is the real gangster.
Right.
So I think that is relevant right now today, and that's what's going on right now. Like I say, the titles that we've been given as far as calling ourselves gangsters and all that was given to us. And most of the time things that are given to us so that they can cover up what it is that's really going on and who the real gangsters are.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's based on perception. And I think if we learn to change our perception, we learn to see things from a different perspective. Like look at the whole circumference, not just looking at just one part of the pie. And I think that's something we need to learn as a people.
Yeah,
we need
definitely.
To pass down. Yeah.
And I also, like I was saying earlier about this young black girl that was 19 years old. She said something that was very, very profound. Because, you know, there's three type of different people out there protesting. It's the people that's out there for the cause, and there's the people out there for wanting to help the people for the cause, and then you have the other people that's there to loot and do whatever. But when you don't understand, when the world doesn't understand what we have been deprived from, you see what I'm saying? Like, some people ain't had nothing. So when you're looking at a busted window wide open with merchandise, I'm not saying it's right, but you ain't had nothing. Your stomach's growling. You've been wearing the same jeans, hand me down, this, that, and the other. When those doors open, you're going to run through that door because you want to see what it is to feel life and to feel like you matter, you know. And that's why I think we have, back to what you were saying, the titles of being gangster and being a looter and being a thug. These are the things that's been thrown into this Black Lives Matter, again, to do just what you were saying, to set up something that's being covered in the background.
Because, like I said, it always going to come back to perception, right?
Yes.
It always come back to perception, because the people who are talking about the people that's looting don't understand their perception of what they've been through. You don't know their story.
Yes.
You don't know their reasoning for what they're doing. You don't know what anger has been invoked in them from what they've had to witness on a television.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The people who are protesting peacefully, who may have something to say about the people that's criticizing the ones that's looting. It's all done on purpose to create confusion.
Yes.
It's done on purpose to try to overshadow what the real purpose and the real need is right now. You know what I mean? So if we fall into that conversation, we're gonna miss something. We're gonna miss the good parts. We're gonna miss the things that we need to be focused on.
Yes.
So I don't have judgment for people who decide to run up in a store and go do what they need to do, because guess what? How many times you've been in the store and you went to go pay for $100 pair of tennis shoes and they came out to $139? You know, taxes and all. You know what I mean? So it's the same. We robbed every day. People are being robbed every day just by going to buy groceries. You know what I mean? It's people out here who go to buy groceries who can barely provide for their family, and the taxes is so high on everything that at the end of the month they probably got to go 2 weeks without feeding their family properly.
Yes.
I grew up where we had to eat beans and potato sandwiches, so I understand the system and how the system does those things to keep the people at the bottom at the bottom. Yes. So if you steady trying to hold people at the bottom and then they see an opportunity, well, it ain't even matter if the opportunity is just for a pair of sneakers. That one pair of sneakers might invoke a piece of pride in them, that they feel more than what they've ever felt about themselves, just to be out to be free. They feel like they're not being, mechanically moving around like a robot being controlled. You know?
Right. And see, that's why I'm just bubbling inside, because I've been working with my company for over 17 years, right? Yeah. Getting all sorts, even in the corporate environment, the gangster's real. Yeah. Okay. And so now all of a sudden, which I appreciate, I'm not saying I don't, but now all of a sudden we've come on the radar in terms of the fair treatment, getting the money we're supposed to be getting the promotions that we're supposed to be getting.
And why is that?
That's what I'm saying. Why did it take all of this time?
Because it's popular.
That's it.
Everything is, whatever becomes popular. If Black Lives Matter becomes more popular than racism, then racism will have no more avenues. Because the people at the top who have money, they don't give a fuck about racism. No. They don't care about that shit. They care about making money.
That's
period.
It.
So if the money trail is bigger over here with Black Lives Matter, guess what? They're gonna switch reels on the racists now. They're gonna ride over here with the Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
And that's what's happening right now, because it's the response is too large right now.
Yeah.
It can't be ignored, because it's not just coming from this skin.
Right.
So it can't be ignored. And now it's other people who don't have this skin that understand they're still a part of this skin.
Yes.
The Latino community.
Yes.
The Asian community. It's a lot of those who are niggas just like us.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
A lot of people don't know. When you look at China and Japan, and those people are eating mice and cat and dog. We used to think as a kid, I thought, what they was doing that because that's just their culture. But it's not.
Yes.
Those are poor people.
Yes.
That's what they've been given to eat.
Yes.
That's all they have in a lot of instances. So everybody is having to look at things differently now.
Right.
You know what I mean? And not just look at other people differently, but to look in the mirror and look at themselves differently now.
Right.
And that's the difference.
Now, this is the one question I want to ask, because, you know, we are emotional people. Definitely. You know, which I hate sometimes with myself. It's like, at least if we could just take the emotion out of this thing, baby girl, it would be a different standpoint for you. But do you think that we can keep this movement going? Because, you know, once the bells and the whistles and Gucci and Fendi and all of them start opening up again, will we lose sight of the movement?
I mean, with anything, I don't think it's never going to be where 100% of the people are going to stay, you know, dedicated to a cause. But this right here is something that's historical that I know we've never saw before.
Right.
It's like, you know, we never thought we'd see a Barack Obama. But Barack and I don't, you know, I'm not campaigning for any political party or anything, but Barack Obama instilled a hope in us as a people.
Yes.
That it didn't matter what he did once he was in there. It's just the fact that we lived long enough to see that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I just needed the visual, like you're saying. Yeah.
Just the visual is needed to instill the hope in the people, for people to invoke something within themselves that make them want to push a little harder.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I can see things a little different. I think the big companies and the people who've been running the world, they have to look at things differently right now. It's a lot of businesses that's not going to be able to sustain this blow. You know what I mean? So that's going to open the door for a lot of us to be able to open some of these other businesses and put our touch on it now.
Yes.
And you know, we're the best at putting our touch on things.
There it is.
You know what I mean? So I just think that it's a coalition of colored folks that understand now that colored is the majority and not the minority.
That's it. And you know what? Through all of this Black Lives Matters, just a movement. Like yesterday, I went to Oxnard because I wanted to get out. I knew what my city was going to do. I knew that Inglewood was going to rep. I knew Compton was going to rep. I know that we've been screaming to have our voices heard. So I said, well, let me get into these other areas and just see what the other nationalities and stuff are doing and how that feels to feel embraced finally. No matter if it's just for one day. Just to feel embraced. Like I don't stick out like a sore thumb. So I went to Oxnard to see the movement and stuff like that. And when I tell you, Dresta, I mean, it just brought such greatness to my heart, and it actually motivated me to get back on my game.
Definitely.
Because this ain't no pity party.
I'm familiar with Oxnard. Guess what? When I told you I did time of youth authority, guess where I was at?
Where was you at?
Ventura.
Oh,
so
gosh.
it's right next door. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Right next door.
Yeah, but I mean, it was just so to see so many biracial relationships, whites and blacks and Latinos coming together, man. I was out there like this because you know what? Nothing is going to move forward unless we work together colorless. It's got to be a colorless process in terms of taking it from us to the next level, because society isn't just us. You know, there's a whole bunch of people that make that up. So to see that everybody finally got the memo that we've been handing out for, I don't know, I've been handing it out since a little girl. Because I felt it since a little girl. So now to feel like, okay, now I'm on the map. Now y'all got to hear what I got to say. Let's talk.
And it's ironic that you said that, right? Because I'm a deep thinker. I overthink everything, right?
Okay.
So I have my own little personal analogies I put to certain stuff. So I realized that I say, okay, this is like really the racist worst time in history for them right now.
Yes.
Because what they've done, they've forced people to who normally wouldn't even look at a black person or a Mexican person and think of them as their brother or their sister, or that they're doing it now. So what all these people that's out here protesting, people are meeting. People are forming new relationships, new alliances. That means there's going to be some colored babies and some Latino and white babies and stuff that's going to be deriving out of this.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
They got to grow up in this world.
That has to grow up in it, and they're going to grow up with a different understanding of it now because their parents will instill something different in them because they've lived through this moment right here.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes. Man, Dresta, we burnt that up, man. We put that on the grill. Take that away from me or the grill be gone, because we killed that one, man. Sizzle. It's a delicious thing. So let's keep going with the questions. So in your opinion, what do you believe our relationship is with gangster rap and hip hop?
Our relationship with gangster rap and hip hop.
Yes.
It's I don't know, there's different ways you can look at that, right? It's basically the urban community utilizing our tools. It's like what basketball was before rap was.
Okay.
You know what I mean, before rap was invented, basketball and football was the thing to go to. So it's part of our fiber now. You know what I mean? But it's not, the gangster rap title is something that's it's iffy now to use that word, because all, you know, you got certain music now when people aren't rapping, they're singing the raps and they're talking gangster stuff in it. You know what I mean? But then you have white rappers who are adapting to it, who've been accepted into the culture. You know what I mean?
Right.
The Slim Jesuses and other people like that. You know what I mean? And like I said, I don't try to pass judgment on none of them, but this is really supposed to be this supposed to be our language.
Right.
This is like our pig Latin. It was once our pig Latin, where everybody didn't understand it.
Yes.
Everybody couldn't do it, or didn't even try to do it because they was too busy listening and being informed that they were trying to learn.
Right.
But now it's been watered down so much to where almost anybody can do it. But I guess we're at a point in the world where a lot of cultures are, you know, starting to adapt to each other. You know what I mean? And this has become the universal language for all races now, not just coloreds. You know what I mean? Not just niggas. You got white niggas now. You got Latin niggas now. You know what I mean? You got Asian niggas now who are speaking this language, and it's a reason for it, because it's something that's tapping into their spirit.
Right.
You know, and it's like anything through our history, from the days of Pharaoh, has been plots against the black man. There's been plots to stop us. There's been plots to kill us all. There's been plots to do all that. But guess what? We made it through all of it. And when I say black man, I just don't mean black. I mean every colored, you know, male in this and
minorities in general.
Minorities in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
But we've learned how to navigate through it and you know, take the chitlins and make them taste good. You know what I mean?
Like everything else. Yeah. I mean, there was a time they wasn't touching no chitlins. Now I
still don't touch them, but I just use it as an analogy.
But shoot.
I think none of us should be eating that. It's slave food. We ain't there no more. That was for a different time, a different period. You know what I mean? I think we need to cut that out of our diet. Food. That shouldn't be in our diet anymore. You know what I mean? Definitely. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I got a thought for that. I like eating slave food so to keep me in the mentality that I got to stay fighting to eat better. So that's the way I look at it, because I do eat chitlins.
But do we want to stay in the mentality that we have to stay fighting, or do we want to finally get to the mentality where it ain't us having to fight no more? That they got to fight. They got to fight to be a part of this culture, because we're the culture that's running the world.
Yes. Now I think is that time. But what I'm saying is, throughout life, you have different things that you have to use to motivate yourself. Yeah, definitely.
That's your perception. That's your motivation. I can't take that from you.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. So that's basically, you know, what that is. But why do you think that gangster rap is the most lucrative subgender of hip hop?
Well, like I say, it's something that was given in hopes to tear us down. So anything that the system can use that they think is going to tear us down, they're going to put everything behind it, right?
Yes.
But what they didn't plan on is that it didn't tear us down.
No, it didn't.
It built us up, and then it built other little us's in other cultures in their neighborhood, and not only in their houses. I just watched a little girl on TV on YouTube the other day explaining to her parents about Black Lives Matter, and she was crying. She was hurt that her parents were still thinking from a racist perspective.
Yes.
On it. You know what I mean? But she corrected their ass. You know what I mean? Because so that means we've made it into their homes.
Yes.
And not just in a negative way; it's in a good way, because they need that wake up call as well.
Yes.
Because their kids' future depend on it just like ours do.
Right.
Definitely.
Right. So keeping it gangsta, define what a studio gangsta is, because you guys say that in one of your raps. Prankster.
I can't let you get away with just saying we say that, right? I'm gonna remind the world of something right now, because I've never been given this credit. The first time that term has ever been used was on a record written for me.
Well, that's why I said studio gangsta.
That is a term that comes from California Youth Authority. See, people don't know that. That's a term that we created in California Youth Authority.
Okay.
And because like we always looked at, like say for instance, being 15, 16 years old, like I say, we're the juvenile delinquents.
Okay. Yes.
So rappers who were putting records, who were releasing records while we were there, who were, you know, saying they were gangster rappers. Guess what? We got it's homies in here right now from those neighborhoods that can tell you everything about that rapper. And whether he was actually a gangbanger or if he was just somebody who lived in the neighborhood who chose to, now he's gangster rap is popular, so he put some khakis on. You know what I'm saying?
Got behind the mic. No.
But we came to jail in khakis. We had khakis on. You know what I mean? So that's where that term derived from. It was certain, I won't say the name, but it was certain people who said, that nigga ain't really, you know, blah, blah, blah. So, them niggas just in the studio being gangster. So that's a term that derived from Youth Authority. And the first time it was ever on a rap, it came from Dresta.
Wow. You know what? Because I love that term. Because I
Yeah.
feel that same way with just like working.
Yeah.
You know, just different people just want to phone it in. That's what a studio gangster is to me. Like you ain't you ain't get no limbs cut.
Yeah.
You still living and you ain't served no time. So how you gonna tell that story?
Yeah, and a lot of people
You
have
know?
it twisted. Like I said, the younger generation think that you have to kill, and shoot to be a gangster. That's not what a real gangster is, either. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
What's a real
It's a lot of
gangster,
gangsters that
Dresta?
ain't never pulled a trigger. That's gangsters.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, a real gangster is a person that understands what he's doing and what he's doing it for, and that he's doing it for something bigger than himself. You know what I mean? Al Capone and all them people was gangsters.
Right.
You know, Hillary Clinton is a gangster.
There she go.
Barack
Go,
Obama
Hillary.
is a gangster. You know what I mean? People who can create generational wealth is the biggest gangsters in the world because they control everything. They can control the gangsters.
Yes.
They control those who think that they're gangsters. You know what I mean? So like I said, it's based on perception and what you think. But studio gangster, that comes from California Youth Authority.
Yes, indeed.
Definitely.
And that's a heck of a term.
Yeah.
And I mean, it makes it really, really good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, like I said, it's understanding our struggle, which is really gangsta.
That's all it is.
You know, that was the purpose of this episode because I wanted people to see real gangsters do real things. And
Yeah.
just because you're a gangster doesn't mean anything derogative.
Yeah.
It's a term that is necessary,
Yeah.
you know, but it's also an attitude because to me, I'm gangster about everything that I do, which means that I made the choice. I'm willing to do the repercussions through the choice, and I'm ready to stand on the word that I've built.
I have family
You know?
members. I have family members who their gang monikers since they were 8 and 9 years old was gangster such and such. Gangster
Right.
So
Yep.
those are some that we all grew up with those titles. And our back then when I was a kid, looking at it, all we thought gangster was being a gangbanger, shooting or selling dope or robbing. You know what I mean? So that's a stigma that was given to us, like I say, by other people, and it was just us following what was popular.
Yes.
Just like with Black Lives Matter, right? It's popular.
Right
So people
now.
are going to follow what's popular.
Right.
Mumble rap was popular. So people start mumble rapping because it's popular. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what the whole world is about now. It's about being popular. With social media and things of that nature, it's about being popular. Whatever becomes popular, that's what people are going to follow.
Right. But again, that was going to be my next question in terms of the way social media plays off of the word gangster and what that really means, you know, because I also feel too that the term has been taken, you know, now the police are gangster, the government's gangster, and now
gangster.
we're hoodlums.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
again, embracing a word
Yeah.
that was originally depicted on us, they always end up taking it away because guess what? We make it look so
Yeah,
good.
we wear it well.
You know, so it doesn't matter. Whatever term you give me in society, guess what? That term is not going to affect my end game. And that's the message.
That's an old school tactic they've been using for generations and
Yes.
generations since the Willie Lynch letters.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Which was a damn good letter.
Putting title, and it's still it's been very it's been working up until this point. I think now it's finally gonna get some type of things to counter what the Willie Lynch letter did to our people. You know what I mean? All the titles that they give us, it's a reason for it. And like I say, most of it is to disguise what it is that's really going on behind the scenes.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. So, like I said, that's why it's so necessary for this month to be dedicated to Ruthless June, because we got to be ruthless about our pursuit of things. We have to be ruthless when it comes to who we are, you know, and just being able to stand on that, because I really live by this whole philosophy, you know. Don't allow your circumstances to make you, but use your circumstances to define who you want to become, because those circumstances have made me have a certain grit, a certain understanding, and a certain dedication to my own cause.
It's the same.
And yeah,
It's the same as working for money.
yeah,
The rich gangsters don't work for money.
no,
They make money work for them.
that's it.
You know what I mean? So it's the same philosophies. We just got to turn around and realize that we can use those same philosophies to help us. You know what I mean? To
Right.
help us benefit from what was intended for our detriment.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Because you tried to set me up for pain, and guess what? Now that pain is equal to
Now
the
my
flame.
pain is for sale. You got to
Yeah,
pay
it
for this
is.
pain.
Now you got to pay for it now.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you know. So, you know, Dresta, I always like to ask somebody a question on the show, because this show's theoretically was built on relationships. You know, a lot of the relationships that we have with people, and sometimes we don't give the energy at that time or make a mistake with that relationship because we don't know again.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, is there a relationship that you would like to mend, and why?
It's a bunch of relationships I would like to mend. You know what I
Just
mean?
give me one. And be, you
me
know,
doing this podcast is an attempt at mending relationships. You know what I mean? So it's you know, I've been through some things in life where I kind of stopped trusting everything and everybody.
Right.
You know, and I know when you do that, I learned now that you can do that, and that's also systematic for you to end up chasing some people away that's intended to be helpers in your life. You know what I mean? So
yes.
I have a lot of relationships. I just did a song called Apologies, where I'm apologizing for those things. I'm apologizing for homies who've been in prison that I could have wrote letters to that I didn't even write letters to.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's the little things. It ain't even the big things. So I just apologize to anybody. If I've ever mistaken a person's love for being false, and I didn't honor what was intended for me to honor, then I apologize for that as a man, you know.
Right, and that's gangsta.
That's what gangsta is. For real.
That's real. That's really what it's all about. So I got to ask you another question, Dresta. How did you get in my backyard, man?
Yo, man, what you mean?
Who's my man?
I started a career in this backyard once upon a time. You know?
Shout out to Greedy Greg.
Greedy Greg, man, for sure, man.
So how did you and Greg get together? I just want to tip.
You want me to tell that story? That story got some little stuff in it. I don't know,
man. Just a little bit.
No, well, when EazyE passed away, or right before EazyE passed away, we were looking for a deal, and Greedy Greg, I don't know who it was initially. One of my partners brought my little brother over here, and they wanted to sign a deal with my little brother.
Okay.
And at the time, I was kind of mad about it because we was a package deal. That's my artist, you know what I mean? But at the time, I was also still young and didn't understand the validity of that being my artist was.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I had to fuss a little bit, and they ended up including me in the deal. And at first, I was like, go ahead, do it. Because you know what? He can't do it without me anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They didn't know how much I was doing behind the scenes as far as, you know, the creativity and things like that. So
okay.
I took it personal, but that was the immaturity in myself, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And not knowing the business side and not doing, you know, the things I could on the business side. But I was included in the deal, and we ended up doing Real Brothers, and I think it was just a classic moment. You know, I had my moments where I felt I was mad about it because I wanted us to do new songs. I was still learning myself. So I was still learning the process. I was getting better as a writer. I was getting better as a producer and creating and you know, and putting things together. I was hearing things differently. So I wanted to redo certain things, but they was at a point where now we want to run with this right here. You know what I mean? So it was a few little odds and ends, but it still was like I say, it was something major for me because I come from nothing. I came from being in youth authority for 6 years, and this was my dream. I was out here living my dreams. You know what I mean? So
right, and that's important to our viewers that are listening. So shout out to Greedy Greg, and I'm so happy that you came up in this backyard because there has been some amazing talent back here, and I also want to show the world that because we're doing all of this in the backyard, baby. So we pulling them in the backyard for sure. So how can we be down with you, Dresta? How can we follow your movement? Give me all your information. Let them know so that we can keep up with you. And you know you're gonna come back to the backyard for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. I just say keep your ears open. I got a lot of different things I'm trying to maneuver. Trying to get Greedy Greg. We're trying to get in this film industry, and tell our stories on that level as well. Because I believe that's a natural progression from where we came from. And that's always been a different, you know, position I always wanted to be in, with this executive side in the film industry. We can tie in the music and the documentaries and all that type of stuff together. So my Instagram is Gangsta_Dre_Sta STA. So people can, you know how to spell it correctly.
Okay, say it again.
Gangsta, GANGSTA _DRE_STA.
Okay, all right.
But so you can keep updated with that right now. You know, I'm working with a producer named Irvin Pope with the Furnace Entertainment.
All right, shout out to him.
Trying to finish up my solo project right now. Like I say, other ventures. My little brothers. We got a movement going right now called Child Support is Fraud. You can check them on childsupportisfraud.com.
That's a good one.
I'm serious. And you can actually download the affidavits right from the website. Pay for a short fee to help teach black men how to get out of the the oppressive child support system.
Yes,
that's been
because that's
falsely-
another thing that you
Definitely.
guys don't take care of your kids and all of that. Like, it's so many layers to this,
Yeah,
Dresta.
yeah.
And like I said, we gonna come back and we gonna talk about that format with the child support. I think that we should just do a
I
separate
want to have them
show.
come on. I want to have them come on the show whenever you're ready.
Okay.
And it's from a group that I created called the Young Halls. That I was the manager and the CEO of a group called the Young Halls. They're still doing music, but they also, two of the members, one works under 50 Cent right now.
Okay.
And they created this thing because they both had to go through child support, and they had to figure out. And I'm another person. I've been on child support for 20-some years.
Jeez.
And my daughter was with me since she was 4 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But they still want some rears for some child support when the child was with me. So
Yeah.
this is just a way to teach men how to get out of that loop so they can go back to work. They can get their driver's license back, and they can get from under that oppressive child support system.
Right. And let
I
me
would love to have
tell
them
you.
come on as guests. They're real informative about what they do.
Yeah, I want to have that. So after the show, let's go ahead and exchange information so I can reach out to them, because I think that that's needed and necessary too. Like I said,
Definitely.
this is Ruthless June. We're going to keep it gangsta. We're going to get that information out there so that people know that the movement is real, and we're trying to educate and elevate each other.
Definitely.
Through every freaking way that we can. And so
Build up
we
and
ran
don't tear
out of
down.
time, man. And
Build
it's-
up and don't tear down. That's
there
all we
it
got
is.
to do.
Build up and don't tear down. And that brings us to our quote, because we're going to close it, and it sets it up right. Gangster rappers, they call them. Not as nearly as gangsta as the things that inspire them. You know, the gangster government that we're under. Again, that comes from Russell Simmons. It's timely. It's real. Feel it. And thanks so much for tuning in today. Make sure that you guys have a great week. Make sure that your voice is heard. Make sure that your energy is felt, and make sure that your love is embraced, because that's what we need to be doing right now. Thanks so much for tuning in to Rappers in My Backyard, the podcast that stays lit, and we keep it lit, and we keep it hot, and we're going to do that every Sunday at 2 p.m. Also, make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that bell, because that's the way you're going to find out about exciting guests that we have, like Dresta and other educators that we're going to have to come up here and talk to you guys about the realities of going on. And then we just launched our new website on Monday, so make sure y'all go to rappersinmybackyard.com. check it out. It's nice and slick like the show is. So make sure that you tune into that and get ready, because we making it hot all summer long with this Ruthless June. And like I said, I cannot wait till next Sunday to talk, express, relate, connect with each one of you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. The podcast is Stays Lit. I'm LisaO. You know I'm running this thing. And I'll see y'all next week. Love you guys. Mwah! We rap about relationships, entertainment, and music. You heard?